Hey there guys, thanks for joining us on another gaming night. Tonight we are playing Champions of Midgard. This is from Grey Fox Games, and it's essentially a worker placement game. We'll get onto the explanation in a minute. I'll give you a little details of who's here. Mike from Team Clueless is here.
Hi there, guys.
Hello guy. Martin. And Tony. And myself, Jason. Okay, so we've set up the game. We're ready to go. So I'm going to give you a little base info on how the game sort of plays, and then we'll come back with the gameplay turn. Just to give you, we're not going to explain every rule, so you won't learn how to play the game exactly like this. But if you're familiar with games, you'll pick it up pretty easily. It's very simple. Right, so this is a Viking town somewhere in the Scandinavia, I assume. And we are little Viking clans or whatever, and we're going to try and gain some glory. So this is the faction I'm playing. It's Dagran, the Destined. And the other guys have chosen theirs. Who are you playing?
Ulla the Berserker.
And you, Mike?
Svanhilja, the swordsman.
Asmundr.
Right. So the one we're not using, there's one other faction we're not using. They all have their own abilities. So for example, like mine, when I go to the Sage's Hut, I can draw one additional card when visiting, and I can choose one to keep. So they all have different abilities. So they all have different things you can work on. And then we have worker placement spots. So you start with 3 workers, and they all do the usual things. The dice there are your warriors, so you can go there to gain a warrior. You can go to
The dice aren't your people are standard little meeples.
Yeah. And you can go on quests as well. Like for example, up here is the troll. If you don't fight the troll, we'll take blame. So someone has to go there and defeat the troll to stop them from murdering the townsfolk. And we have some sort of dark elf dwarga.
I think they're undead from Skyrim, aren't they?
They look similar.
Yeah, so these are attacking your village, and the Draugr are attacking neighbouring villages. So we're going out there to, and I guess the neighbours
Help fight
pay
a
us.
good fight.
They give us money.
Possible, move one of the cards closer, Michael. I just want to show. Right, so on the card, it's there's a lot of glare.
Sorry, it's my compulsion to sleeve.
Right, let's see if I can get it so that not a lot of glare. Lift it up a bit. Oh, there, actually, that's good.
That's good.
You see the 2 red, that's its health points and
It's attack value.
attack value, and the blue is its defense.
So I think before we go into that, we should explain that when you go to fight one of these, you have to choose a number of your dice to go and fight it. So, say we chose those 3 dice to go and attack it with.
Yeah, you roll them there just so we can check.
So let's see what I get. Ooh,
we got
excellent.
2 axes and a spear, which is basically 3 damage, which is enough to kill this.
Because that's its defense value.
And he will do 2 dice damage or 2 damage back to us.
Which would essentially kill a dice.
Yeah.
Actually.
But if we'd have rolled,
The shield, it would have protected 1.
so we reduce that 2 to a 1, so we'd say just lose that spear.
Yeah, and that's discarded.
The dice are slightly different. The swordsman's the most basic. The spear is basically a slightly better swordsman, and the axe is really killy but has no shields on the dice.
Yes.
So it's not as defensive. So you can kind of like choose, depending on what dice you put into certain things, you can kind of like try and game how they're going to work.
For example, like Martin's probably will go for more berserkers, I think.
Yeah, because I get benefits for rolling doubles, essentially.
Yeah, and I've got bonuses for swordsmen, so I'll probably buy more swordsmen.
The last thing you get, this is the glory points, so victory points essentially, and that's the money you get for killing it.
Loot
And
is
this
corpse.
symbol here also represents a set collection ability. So if you can collect 3 different symbols, so you've got this diamond, you've got the little triangle, and then there's a third one.
For those non-colourblind people, they're also coloured. They've specifically, there's a little rule sheet in the box that basically says we did this for people that have trouble with colours.
Which is awesome, yeah.
Which is a good thing.
That's a set collection. Every time you get a set of 3 of those, it's 5 extra points at the end of the game. So I'm not going to go through every worker spot. We'll talk more about that in the gameplay turn. But suffice to say, here's some worker spots here. Then there's also some more dudes you have to fight on the over the ocean. And the deeper you go, the more food you have to pay. Obviously, the further you travel to fight stuff. This is also just generally for victory points. And gold, and also glory.
See, these are worth for 40, aren't they? 15 VPs, that's a massive amount.
But they take quite a lot of prep because you need food to go there. You need to use a ship to sail over there.
And
you've got the journey that is the random element which might dick you over.
Could end up fighting a kraken or something.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. I mean, this is literally a basic worker placement game, but it has a really cool theme. It has a lot of interesting mechanics.
It works really well.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
And like I said, the gameplay system will show you, or gameplay turn will show you a lot more about how the game flows. Because just explaining it, there's loads of other videos that just explain the rules, and we would rather want to show you.
One thing to point out, there's only 8 turns total, so it's a set number of turns. It's not a first to victory points. It's whoever's winning at the end of the 8 turns.
Okay, right. So let's go get going with this, and we'll come back in a few minutes' time. All right, folks, we're back here for the gameplay turn. I'm going to give you a quick overview of where we're at. You can see the points scoring over the top there. Yellow is in the lead, which is Martin on 24. Second place is blue on 18, which is Tony. Yeah, don't everyone fainted once.
Yeah, it's
Mike,
not the final game.
Yeah.
It's not the final score. I've got plenty of time to.
Michael's in third place with 16, and I have yet to get off the mark.
Different tactics, right, Jason?
Yeah, I'm clinging on to that theory. All right, so we're about to start turn 5 now. Michael is the first player. And we're now about to place our workers. So we'll explain it as we go along.
I'm curious as well that we've got to this point, no one's bought an extra
That's
worker.
where I'm about to go.
Okay.
Because I now have the money.
Buys well then.
So buying an extra worker, you go there, I get an extra piece. So I go down, I get to use this later on in this game turn, so it's pretty useful. But it costs a reducing amount of money, so I have to pay 5, which is in this game a hefty amount of money.
Yeah.
And then the next person who buys one, could be next turn, only pays 4 to do it. So I grabbed myself the extra worker.
And then it's 3 and then it's 2, so obviously the last person to go there only pays 2, but they're going to get...
I was really hoping Jason was going to go there last turn.
I'm surprised he
had the
hasn't.
money.
I'm not really sure what he's
Because I knew I'd have the money this turn.
Anyway, I think I'm going to immediately go and get these spearmen. It's a bit too tempting.
I am going to game a wood and a food.
Get that for you.
I've not fought anything yet. I'm playing the chick.
I'm gonna perhaps in that troll to fight.
That's
Nice.
Drow, sorry. Troll over here.
I'm tempted to go sailing, but the cost of the food over there I'm not sure is worth the extra stuff, so I'm going to go and kill this one up here.
On the subject of food, I'm off to the smokehouse.
Okay. I am going to go to the runesmith, which costs wood rather. So I'm going to pay my wood, and allows me to either take one of these 2 face-ups or a blind. I'm going to go with the blind. And I've got potential. Reroll any Viking warriors which come up blank in a round of hunting or combat.
Just show it here. So what we've got there, I'm assuming you can see that.
Yeah, come a little closer.
Okay, so the middle section is 3 points, and then you've got a one-shot ability when you've used it. You flip it face down, but it's still worth 3 points. So Jason's essentially bought himself 3 victory points there, which is quite nice.
Alright. Bags myself.
2
What's your wood, Tony? I've got some raiders.
So as you can see, it's pretty simple. You work a place from spaces.
I'm
just
going
go
over
there.
there, I'm going to look at...
Well, you don't want to look at that one, man. You don't want to look at that one. Poker face, man. Poker face.
So that card lets me look at the journeys down here. So when you board a ship and attempt to go and fight one of these mythical beasts at the bottom, you encounter a random event on your journey. So I've now looked at that with the advice of the sage, and I ain't going to go there. And I get a new destiny card as well.
Which is an end game scoring card, essentially.
Which is what I've got a ton of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what his
I've
strategy
got 2 now, and neither are good.
I'm going to take a gamble. I am going to go sailing. I'm going to go this one.
Excellent. Martin fell for my bluff of not going for the one I looked at.
Didn't you look at that one?
Yeah, so he didn't go for it. I bluffed that it was really bad.
I can't go there, I've got spearmen. So this one here, I don't know if you can see that in the thing, but this one here, you can't actually use spearmen against. I've got 4 spearmen.
Whereas I have all swordsmen, so these 2, which I really want to go and kill, I can't do.
I'm doing you a nice favour there.
But yeah.
It's all for you.
Because these are easier, and the things are worth so many more victory points.
Yeah. Well, I was tempted to go with this one.
Food cost seems... I can get there.
I had an alternate plan for that turn, was to go sailing there, get some dice, and try and kill the troll as well, and try and do 2 little things.
I compared this one to that, and the cost of... Say if I want 3 warriors to get through 3 food
I'm going to
plus
take
the
first
journey
player
cover.
again. I get a swordsman and first player.
So first player doesn't move unless it's taken as well, which is particularly galling. Okay, Tony, got any dudes left?
I am going to the Stone Church and get a favour of the gods for one.
Okay. And Michael, your last guy?
My last guy, debating. I think I'm going to go to
So no one's fighting the troll this turn.
wealthy merchant. Or I could fight the troll. Or I could
That'd
send
be a wood. You have 7 swordsmen there. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Well, I'm also fighting this guy who needs 3 to kill and deals
Yeah.
2 damage.
So when you do roll damage on these swordsmen, because your ability, you're
Yeah.
going to get a minimum of 2.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, don't be a
No, they
wuss.
both require 3. That's just not going to happen.
Oh,
I shall.
There's no
go
room for cowardice in the
to
Viking hordes.
merchant ship, or I could go to the hunting grounds with a couple of. No, fighting these things with the majority of people gives you far less chance of losing any.
But you got to get victory points somehow.
Yeah, I'm killing this dude. I'm going to go to the wealthy stranger and grab myself another couple of coins.
There you go, 2 money. Okay, so that's everyone's place. So now we assign our workers, essentially, or our dice, or our warriors.
Warriors.
So if you're only fighting one person, if you're allowed to, up here, you just stick all your dice
Yeah,
down.
they can obviously take as many as they want, but I have on my ship, this is my personal ship, I've got a capacity here. So I'll
The capacity includes people and food.
I'll take 3 and 5.
The little symbol down here says how much food feeds how many people. So on this location, 1 bit of food feeds 2 of your warriors. Or on these 2, 1 bit of food only feeds 1 warrior, so it's harder to take
Yeah,
people.
Based on-
these are closer, essentially.
Based on what I've seen on that card, Martin, you want to add some more food there.
Well, I'm taking extra swordsman because the swordsman's going to die whatever. I'm taking him
You're going to feed the swordsman to it.
ballast just in case.
Right, so has everyone signed dice?
Yep.
I've got nothing to assign because I don't fight anything.
Right, so then we go on to the combat round. So the first thing that happens is the hunting grounds trigger. No one's put any on the
Nobody's
hunting
been there
grounds.
at all.
No, ever. It's quite a good way to get a lot of food. So next is the troll. No one's fighting the troll, so everybody gains a blame. This is really bad. I'm going to have to start fighting the trolls.
I've got 3 blame tokens
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
me too. Okay, then we go to the Draugr. So, Tony, grab yours.
Yep. Roll them down there so we can see on the camera. Which one?
Oh!
Wow.
Okay, so each one of these weapon symbols is a damage. So he's done 8 damage. He only needs 2. However, it's done 2 damage back, so 2 of his dice die.
He has the option to re-roll
you
if
can
he
re-roll
wants
them
to.
if you want to. Yeah, you could actually re-roll the 2 spear
yeah.
because his ability, he gets 2 for a favour
Yeah,
token
I
when he
will do.
spends them as well. They normally have 2 VPs at the end of the
One
game.
favour. So
So,
put blue on
yeah.
2.
Blue on 2.
And I'll
Try,
re-roll those
try
2.
and save some.
Try and save some
He's
shit.
going to roll nothings now.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So he absolutely
They die
butchered this
anyway.
thing.
Tony's warriors have been very self-sacrificing.
Right,
They
yeah.
all die. but
Okay,
they
so
do
blue
kill
gets 5 glory.
1, 2, 3, 4,
And
5.
you get 3 coins for that, and then that goes into his pile of dead
There
creatures.
you go.
So I'm fighting this one up here. It deals 2 damage and has 3 defense. But I'm sending 7 warriors against it.
Oh my
So
god!
I've got my 2 shields, and because of the character I'm playing, all my swords count as an additional sword. So I've dealt it 4 damage. I've resisted its damage back. So perfect.
And you have
result.
these 3, which could have been fighting the troll.
Well, yeah, but those 3 could have been fighting this one as
How much
blanks.
gold do you need?
I need 4 gold and 6 VPs for killing that bad boy.
Another 4, my god. There we go.
Thank you.
Right, now we get down here. So the first thing that happens is I have my journey card.
Nothing.
Boom! It is
Oh.
all quiet.
That's the
There.
best result, I suspect.
Yes.
Yes. So now I arrive on the shores to fight this Drekkie. It is immune to swordsman, so my swordsman dies. Now the reason I took that, obviously had I known I wouldn't have, but the reason I took that was just in case I found something which basically denied me of
Pay your food as well,
people-
which
oh,
is
yes.
pretty.
Sorry, yes, I forgot that. 1 food will pay for 2 guys as well. So, in actual fact, if I spend 2, over there, I'll save 1. My swordsman can die of starvation before he gets there. Yes, you don't have the satisfaction.
That's right.
We packed you some food. But
You're not having it.
Yeah.
You're going to use this anyway. So, I get 4 dice.
All blanks.
That's
So-
perfect.
Well, nothing happens essentially. So I've defended his 3 damage. I'm really tempted to re-roll, but I feel if I re-roll now,
We'll
No,
keep
that's
a reroll
just-
for
that's
next
so
turn.
essentially
Yeah.
combat
That's
keeps
a flat
going.
result. There's no
Yes.
point re-rolling that.
So, well, unless I roll 2 on there and he's dead.
Yeah, but you're not losing. No, I suppose so, but.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I don't think I'm going to, but there is reasons why. I
Yeah,
will.
yeah.
So in this instance, I've defended the 3 damage. I don't do any damage, so we just go on another combat round. Right, this is a bit better now. So this time I've done 3 damage. My ability, whenever I roll 2 weapon symbols, I get a point. So I get a point for that. I've defended against 1, so 2 of my guys dies. These 2, as they didn't really try. And he dies. So I get all this lovely gold. 15 points, please. Food and ship, come back home.
Cool, Martin is well in the lead. He's killed 2 of the big monsters at the bottom now, and 2 that are both worth 15
points.
Did
Yeah.
massive swing.
And 6 points from other little bits.
Yeah.
And that is essentially an entire turn of Champions of Midgard.
Yeah, so there's like end round clear up
Yeah,
stuff.
and as
so,
you can see, even though we were explaining stuff in that turn, it took no time at all.
Yeah.
so each one of these gains an extra gold, and a new monster comes out, a new journey card comes out. Any that weren't killed, we gained them.
Yeah, we gained
didn't
it,
we?
yeah.
So troll disappears, and a new troll comes out. Thank you. 2 more drow, please, Michael. So nobody went to the market, so the merchant. So the merchant goes, and the merchant ship out, and then we get 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, another food. There's no more rooms, and we get all our dudes back, of course.
Yep.
And there you go. That's full rotation. So that's enough of that. We'll come back at the end of the game and tell you the final scores and what we thought of it. See you in a bit. Okay, so this is the end of the game. We worked out the victory points, and in last place, my strategy didn't work.
Pacifist Viking did not win.
No, 51 points.
I'm quite glad. It gives
Yeah.
me faith in the game.
Yeah,
that the
no,
Pacifist didn't win.
I've played a few times, and I wanted to try something completely
That
different.
special pass seems really powerful, so I think it was worth the go.
Yeah, you draw an extra end of... Oh, we'll go get to that in a second. Joint second and third is Tony and Martin on 64 points.
Win on the tiebreaker.
Yeah, there's a tiebreaker which is killed the most creatures, which is technically Tony. As he killed his, I failed to kill
And
mine.
Martin
So,
speared
so,
Reese,
so it's not
as it
technically
were.
anything about it, it's
Yeah,
Tony.
The
Second place.
tiebreaker is generally for who's first, so we just didn't win.
Yeah, the rest of them weren't really playing, I don't think.
Michael, massively in the lead with 97 points, is the winner. Well
I
done,
will say
Mike.
that gap wouldn't have been quite so bad had I not got hit with all that blade.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you,
there's 15 points on
Nice
Blade.
You got- how many
took
tokens you
the
got?
First player.
Sorry?
how many
previous
tokens you
turn.
got?
I had 5.
Yeah.
5. I had 1, and how many you got? 3.
I had 3.
And you got 1 as well.
I took the first player the turn previous just because I saw that everyone was going for the troll, because the blame kind of like ramps up the more you have.
It's really bad.
The more negative each one is worth. So 1 is worth -1, but when you get up to 15, each one's worth -3.
Yeah.
It's got up to 5 even. So I certainly went to go there first because it reduces mine, and I could pick on another player because you get to take one of your blame and give it to another player.
I gave 2 to Martin as
Yeah.
well, and I'm
And
thinking I
Martin-
should have given you
Martin
1.
on the board was
Yes,
really high
yes,
up.
you should. Because you were looking at the points
Yeah.
at the time,
Yeah.
and I don't think that's always that
I
very good
was-
because there's a lot of end scoring stuff.
I was
as well.
quite confident because I had points in everything. I
Yes,
had
agreed.
3 of these victory cards,
Yeah.
which are face down, so the other players don't see them. But I was quite confident I'd complete and win at least 2 of them, and probably the third.
Well,
and I
you were
managed to do
actually
all of them.
stopping me getting mine because your
Yeah.
guys weren't dying.
Well, you stopped me from getting 2 of mine as well.
Well, all the way through though, because he's basically
Yeah,
his board
I
was filled
hoarded
with-
the wines.
mine was have the most Viking warriors at the end of the game, and his guys were just not dying, and he had so many that I couldn't complete.
Yeah.
So I basically ripped it off very early on.
The other ways of gaining victory points, so you've got the things that give you negatives, those for having sets of monsters, and I think
Yeah.
all 3 of us did quite well on those,
I had
didn't
2,
we?
you had 1 set, you had
Yeah.
2 sets.
Blues, reds, and yellows. So I had 2 sets. Of
Well, that's 10 points,
three,
isn't it?
10 points.
I didn't kill anything other than
Yeah.
2 trolls.
Which he then dicked me over with. Look at this gap.
Yeah.
And
Chose poorly.
the other ways of gaining victory points were money and the reroll tokens. I didn't use a single reroll token all game, which
That
does
was-
show I was rolling well.
That was one of my... Well, your ability was really useful for that
Yeah.
as well, because
Yeah, my
just
ability-
rolling a sword would kill
The whole strategy,
something.
because I haven't played before, was I got this character and was like, that seems to have a strategy based on it, I'll roll with that. Which is basically get as many swordsmen as you could and kill as many monsters as you
Yeah.
can, because they're really good at killing.
Well, like I was saying, I wanted to go a completely different route, and I tried to go sort of a economy route, if you like, where I just gained loads of these rune cards and loads of the... what are these cards called? Destiny cards.
I don't think it's a bad idea at
No,
all.
I
but
was worried.
I think you need to put a toe into killing things
Yeah.
as well, just to kind of bump up your score. And
and
also,
'cause-
there's a lot of Destiny cards which give you bonuses
Yeah.
for that.
Required. I was I was unsure about Jason. I thought I could beat Martin because I don't think he had as many victory points down, but because Jason had lots of cards down there that are worth victory points, he could have flipped over and gone, oh, here's 40 victory points just from these that I didn't see he had.
Well, essentially I did. I mean, I was...
Jason, you didn't move off of there until turn 4.
But because he was so far down here, I thought he can't get that many.
I did alright in the end, 51, just from no killing stuff.
I think you just have to nibble at the monsters to
Yeah.
tip over a bit there.
I think my original...
That gives you gold as well.
Yeah, my original plan was to go for trolls and economy, but everyone else was... I think it was you that jumping on the trolls first, yeah.
Everybody wants the trolls.
Yeah.
The blame's a pain in the arse.
I went for the trolls because I had one of the cards which was kill the most trolls.
There was one turn. In fact, wasn't there 2 turns where one turn nobody went on the troll,
And one turn
and
Tony
one turn where
failed to
Tony
kill it.
failed to kill it?
Yeah.
So we all gained blame then as well.
Yeah. So I was quite glad to have gained the blame because I felt it was a bit of a waste killing the troll. I killed it turn 1.
Yeah.
And it was itself a bit of a waste because I couldn't get rid of
It's
a
more
blame.
efficient to get rid of one and pile it off of somebody else.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, I think so as well. Well, I think that was a pretty good game. What did you guys think? Start with you, Martin. It's your copy of the game.
It is. I played it several times now. It's really good. One of the better games to come out this year. Really kind of just a straightforward, good worker placement game. A lot of people said it compares to Lords of Waterdeep. A lot of people have said it fired Lords of Waterdeep for them, and I think it's a bit more interesting in terms of theme than Lords of Waterdeep. It's a bit more your things kind of make a bit more sense, whereas in Lords of Waterdeep they're a bit more kind of like this cube goes off and does this quest kind of thing. Whereas this that actually tangibly feels like your warriors are fighting.
Well, I think it's actually nicely different. Firstly, I felt it was a bit quicker. The turns because I think there's less thinking in this. I think it's a less complicated worker placement game.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
It replaces some of the complexity with the random die roll, which
Yeah.
sometimes is good, sometimes bad. I really like the die rolls.
Yeah.
But there's far less kind of like working out, and I felt there was far less dicking over of other players, which is something people dislike in Lords of War.
There is a bit of that, though, to be
Yeah.
fair, but not enough to make
Mainly
you go,
the
God,
taking
it's
of places.
annoying.
But in Lords of
Also,
Waterdeep, you can kind of like
From my
see
point,
what
I
other
don't see
people
why
are
you
doing.
can't have both. I mean,
Yeah.
I
I
theme
love
wise,
Lords of
yeah.
Waterdeep, but this I really enjoyed.
I mean, theme wise, this one is better, but I don't hate the Lords of Waterdeep.
No,
thing,
I like
yeah.
Lords of Waterdeep a lot as well. And I actually think this is a really good, along with Lords of Waterdeep and Stone Age, just a really good introduction to worker placement games.
Just to point out, we do have a kindergarten in the next room, so you might find some background screaming.
Yes, some work placement they have really complicated. Well, you've got this many people, you need to make sure you've got your food to feed them, and you've got to have this many working in the field too.
No,
And they're quite
I
complex.
like the travel thing as well. The reward you get from it is big, but the investment you have to put in to do it as well is actually you have to kind
And
of work out.
that's the real randomness is these cards here and the gambling what you send. Like one time I went over there and then lost half my food.
Agreed,
and
but you
that
can
killed half my
completely
warriors.
mitigate it by looking at what you're doing before. But then you run the risk of somebody else going there before you. Because of that.
Nice interaction down there.
I like the artwork as well. The artwork
Yeah,
is
it's really nice art.
nice, simple. So, how much would you give it out of 10, Mike?
I really enjoyed it. I like worker placement games. I really like the theme. I think this type of game has come forward since Marvel films have kind of like they've gone up to 4 and you've learnt about Midgard. Like 5 years ago you said the word Midgard to people, they go, what's that? But now they've heard that phrase, so these games can come forward. The art's really good. All the pieces, other than a few of the little pieces which Martin's going to replace, but all of the other pieces are really nice.
Nice thick card.
Yeah, I like the addition of kind of like different style dice that do different things. It kind of like adds another element to the game. So really enjoyed it. I'd give that a good 8.5, 9 out of 10.
So which one, 8.5 or 9?
Oh, I've got to choose. I'll give that 8.5.
8.5, right.
I score it 8 as well, by the way. I think it's very good.
Well, Barney from the CCG reckons this is his number 1 of the year.
Really?
I can see why, because it's a nice, simple, easy game to play on a game night.
And Barney is simple and easy.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been filming a video and it's taken us an hour and a half maybe.
Yeah, and
So-
filming always doubles the time of
2
everything.
new players as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you two haven't played it
One of
before.
them's not a complete moron.
Which one? You'll have to guess. So you gave it 8, you gave it 8.5. What about you, Tone?
I like Waterdeep, love Waterdeep, and I like this because, as you say, it's fairly similar. But I like the compactness of this and the slightly smaller time. So if you can't fit in what can turn into be a big game of Waterdeep,
I've spent 2.5 hours playing Waterdeep before, and I think you could do this in an hour.
Oh yeah, easily.
I would go for a 9 actually.
9.
Yeah,
Wow, let's
yeah,
get some
I
good
really
scores
like
here, boys.
Yeah.
Lovely artwork. I love the
Yeah.
pieces.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, mechanics get you to a nice 7 and 8 of the board game, but then you need the extra pieces to make it go up to make the complete package, and this is really nice. I really like the addition of the dice. It's a nice, clever,
two
random
mechanics
mechanic
I
to
like.
add.
Yes, the dice. You really feel like they're your warriors.
Yeah,
and
you do.
because
that's
you're
it.
placing them there. You feel like you are sending somebody to kill that troll.
Yeah.
And yes, I like the mechanic of sailing off to do your adventures over here.
Yeah, from my perspective as well, I'm going to give it a good score as well. It's a fantastic game. Love the idea that there's different strategies you can do. I mean, I know my strategy didn't pay off tonight, but I've tried various other strategies. I'm pretty sure you guys would do different strategies as well.
I've tried a few different things. Yeah.
One slight thing I'd say about it is I felt the character we were playing kind of dictated our strategies. Yours certainly did. I think Tony's was as well, because he was just spending all his rerolls, and I certainly just went, I'll kill everything because that's what I did. So
well, I mean, they are supposed to
yeah.
be Vikings
Yeah.
after all, but I mean,
yeah,
mine was
combat-y.
combat related.
Basically.
I get more points. So
Mine
I try to
dictated what
do
I
combat.
bought.
But knowing how the gaming world works is
Yeah.
you'll get some more characters
Yeah,
in
that's
the
it.
expansion.
I think a few
and
more of these would be good.
Yeah. I think, to be honest, this game really will benefit from an expansion to give it, like, for example, there are 8 merchant ship cards.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to not know, because
Yeah,
once you've
what
played
they
it
are.
so many times, you know that 8
And
cards
how many
are
of these?
there.
There are
There
4
are
random
there are
spaces
4
on
of
the board.
each. So there are 2 military and 2 economic in a 4-player game, and there's 4 of
Yeah.
each one. So while it gives a randomness, it's not quite random enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think an expansion, should it ever come, it will really benefit from it, because
Yeah.
it will just ramp up that.
It's one of those
sort of
games
random
that
setup
just
element.
needs, similar to Eldritch Horror. In
Yeah.
the base game, there aren't enough of all the different cards
Exactly
to give you
right.
loads of random
Yeah.
element. The first expansion they released for that was
Yeah, that's a good
here's a load
analogy.
of extra cards.
Good,
Exactly.
good.
And I do think they'll bring out more characters as well
Yeah.
that have more than, because everyone's got 8 spaces for
Yeah.
Viking warriors now. I think they'll bring out another character with maybe 10, but a weaker ability,
It's
and maybe
interesting-
6, but a really powerful
It's
ability.
interesting what you
Something
say about the fact that a lot of them are fighting abilities, because I was thinking if they brought out somebody who was really good at farming or something else, that lets them go in various directions because you can spend it, but then
Yeah.
you're not really going
Not a lot of
towards
glory
the
in
theme
it.
of the
Yeah.
game, are you?
Well, yeah, components-wise, artwork-wise, time-wise, everything. This game hits all the boxes. So definitely an 8 from me. So that's quite a good high score. How much is it, Martin?
24, 35 and a half.
35 and a half. I think that's probably one of our highest ranked games. So Barney, good choice, my man.
Yeah,
This
well
is
done,
definitely well worth Game of the Year. Good job, Grey Fox Games. And we will be back with another game shortly.
Thanks everyone.
Bye.
Right.
Say bye, Toad.
Bye.